All right, welcome to It Is What It Is. I'm Shawn Marie.
I'm Jean.
And today we are going to talk about James Edward Woods. Wood. Also, he was born James Goodwin. He is an American serial killer, a rapist. Only convicted of one killing, though. So, I don't know how they say you have to be a killer for 3 or more, right? And yeah, I get it. He was suspected of other ones, but they just throw that shit out there.
Why did they say to be a killer you have to have 3 or more under your belt?
Well, because if you just kill one person, you killed. You're a killer. Well. But there's stats you have to fall under. Damn it, there's a fucking
so
code.
cute,
you know what I mean? Jesus, people.
Woo-hoo.
You can't just kill somebody and be like, I'm the next Ted Bundy. You killed one person. Slow down, Jim. Slow the fuck down. You know what I mean? It's,
Yeah.
I guess great have role models, but pick a better one. And
Yeah.
you got caught at one. Genius.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anywho. So, let's go. His dad, when he was, so he was born in December. I don't know why that matters, but I guess your zodiac sign tells a lot about you. So people like to know. He was born December 9th, 1947. And that's when he was James Goodwin.
Did you know a lot of these? Well, I'll talk to you about that later.
You don't want to just put that out there in the universe?
I don't want to put it out there in the universe right now.
So I want to tell you that you're wrong.
Okay, yeah.
So at the age of 2 in 1949, his daddy got incarcerated and was in federal prison.
So Dad's like a distant... You don't remember much if you're 2. I don't remember anything. I know that. So.
No, dude, my first memory, my first legit memory, which is super crazy, I was 5. I remember the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was traumatic, so maybe that's why.
Maybe.
But it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
So I remember the whole thing. But I was 5, so I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. So his dad goes to prison when he's 2. His mom, Hazel, she decides to go get married a couple times. By a couple, I mean 3. And these guys were not your lovely guys at all. So
Was it the Brady Bunch?
No. He got his ass beat. She got beat up a lot. He grew up in a very, very horrible home.
It was just consistently witnessing and experiencing abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was I guess times where he would hide and outside and be able to hear his mom crying inside.
Mm-hmm.
So just so you guys know, we got our information today from Annie, who is a fan of the show, who asked us to do this one because she was like, this dude's fucked up. I want to know what you guys think.
Mm-hmm.
Totally fucking agree.
Yeah.
Dude got some issues.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she listened to the graphic detail podcast on Pandora. It's episode 10. You can go and listen to it. It'll give you a little bit more information because when they say graphic detail, it's not because it's cute and that's the only thing the girl can come up with. It's because goddamn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
make sure you had your headphones on.
We will not be going that far into it because I personally don't like child molestation cases or anything like that. It's not really my jam, but this guy is a fucking piece of shit. Mm-hmm. And the sweet little girl that died, I'm going to play the local news 8 clip, I guess, from that, what's that guy's reporter's name?
Koontz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Or Eaton.
Eaton. Yeah. He did a remembrance thing, and so you'll hear him. Good. Yeah, he's pretty good. So, yeah. But we got our information from that, from Murderpedia, and from killer.com, killer.cloud.com, the summary page. Any hooser. So, when he was a little kid, like I said, he grew up with all that shit. So his mom finally pieces out on the third guy. And she's like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to move to Pocatello.
Yeah.
Maybe, or was it Chalice on the outskirts of like, I don't know. Same thing, right?
They ended up. No, they're not the same thing. But, yeah, Pocatello. I think he was there in the longest because he kept moving back there. Also.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll go with Pocatello. We'll put all the blame on Pocatello. There it is, Pocatello.
No.
Deal with
God
it.
Almighty.
Deal with it. So he goes to Pocatello.
Pocatello's great, folks. By the way.
Which I get confused sometimes too because people argue with me and they're like, it's Pocatello, which is badass if it is. That's fine.
No.
But like
there's an O.
your sign doesn't say Pocatello, you fucking asshole. Your sign says Pocatello. Dick. No offense to you guys. I'm not calling any one of you a dick. I'm just saying it's an asshole thing to argue with somebody.
That man knows who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know. Stranger. In the Walmart, you know what you did. But Pocatello. Anywho, so he goes there. Mom tragically, we die. She dies. In a potato warehouse.
So she was
Fire.
working. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude, that's like the worst way to go.
Yeah.
Fire?
Yeah.
Sign me up. Sign me out.
Yeah.
Not sign me up.
No.
No. Sign me out. Wow. Sign me out. I don't want to participate. Yes. So then at age 8, his aunt and uncle, I'm not going to say their names. Their last name obviously is Wood. That's when the dipshit becomes a Wood. And then at the age of 14, this dude goes, and in the podcast, folks, I'm going to warn you. She says St. Anthony's, and it drives me insane. So he went to St. Anthony. Back in the day, when you went to St. Anthony, you were known to be going to a boys' school.
Yep, juvenile detention.
You were going to a boys' school. Same concept, though.
It's jail.
Like, they owned you.
Yeah.
And
because you lose custody, correct?
Yeah.
You're now the state.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
My brother went there. Not my little brother, but my other brother. He went there and, like, he ran away from this place. He attempted 3 times.
Oh, yeah?
And when you walk from, like, building to building.
Your brother or Ding Dong?
No, this guy. My brother didn't try to escape. He's not that dumb.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't say he's the brightest of us all, but we got some brains. But when you went from, like, place to place, you'd have to get in. This is, okay, so mind you. What? I don't know what you're mouthing to me. What are you mouthing to me?
Never mind.
Okay.
Move on.
So, mind you, this is 1961. I don't know what year it was when my brother went, but it wasn't 1961.
No.
So,
no.
I can guarantee you that. So, it may be different.
That's back in the day. St. Anthony's much smaller.
Did you just call it St. Anthony's?
No, I didn't.
I was going to say, oh my God, Gene, are you trying to drive me insane? I have this sinus thing
going on, and then I hung out at the gym last night.
Don't mind her coughing. She's getting over something.
13 degrees outside with the fucking wind. Oh my God.
Dude, today, side note, people in Idaho Falls today on this lovely Sunday.
Layer up.
Holy shit balls. Yeah. If I had balls, they're gone. Yeah.
No, I've been hiding watching Hulu, so.
No,
yeah,
dude, I had to walk back and forth from the store to the gas station so many times that I literally was like, I'm going to freeze.
On purpose?
Yeah, that's my job.
Why?
Because that's what I do. Like, I do the shopping for people. And I have to.
All right, well, maybe
It's torture.
Maybe you'll get long johns for Christmas.
Like, I swear. Oh, dude, if they make me go out there in the snow, they ain't ever seen me mad. You know what I'm saying? Warning.
We'll get you some
warning. I'm not even going to say what place it is because I already have. But, like, warning. I ain't going out there in the snow. I don't play with the snow.
It's cold.
I don't do snow. Even though I live in Idaho, I become a bear.
Some people get grumpy, yeah.
I don't. It's not grumpy. Like, I'm still.
Arizona.
I'm jolly, but, like, I'm just not going outside with you.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to build a snowman? I sure don't.
No.
And all this shit's, all his shit mainly happens in the fucking winter.
No, I was just gonna. That's what I was wanting to. I was holding back. It seems like it's around Christmas time. Not trying to undermine any of his victims because there's, what did it say, 12 possible?
Yeah, maybe 12.
But the ones that we hit on, it seems that you keep saying December, yo.
Yeah.
It's like around Christmas time.
Dude has a problem. We have a problem with Santa.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you. Okay.
Well, we know he wasn't hugged enough.
Well,
and we know that's a big part of it. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be... I'm not even gonna say that. There's good moms out there and you still raise a shitbag, but...
and if you're... That just takes me back to he was watching abuse, he was subject to abuse, and no, I personally have not been in that situation.
Well, when his aunt and uncle take him in, dude, he has fantasies about raping his cousins and torturing them and, like, killing his aunt, raping her. Like, he fantasized about these people who were like, hey, orphan child, dead mom, let's go. We'll take care of you, I guess. We already have children, but whatever. They take that shit in.
Yeah.
And like
that's what family does. That's just a community thing.
Like you're just
in these parts. But.
Yeah, in these. I'm sure it's worldwide. You don't abandon your sister's fucking vicious ass child, I guess. You just take it in and pray for
sometimes you gotta
miracles.
Sometimes you gotta keep toxic people out of your life, and that's okay.
Well, usually, Gene, they're not a 9-year-old fucking child. We hope.
He was 9 when they took him in?
Yeah.
Okay.
8. But he admitted to the cops, he said he was 9 when he was like, this is a fantasy of mine. Like, this would be like a nice thing to do.
Rape and murder.
Of his cousins. His cousins. Like, my cousins, dude, are like my siblings.
Yeah.
Like, in my world, that's who they are.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So, like, your cousins.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Did he ever...
No. Not that they said.
Or...
No. I don't think so. So, he goes to St. Anthony. Okay? He escapes. Him and some fucking shitbag that he meets in St. Anthony. Which, dude... Like, I'm saying right now, like, St. Anthony did not work. Anybody I've known that went to St. Anthony, no offense against St. Anthony.
They make their own decisions.
They make their own decisions, you know what I mean? Firm believer in it. It's not the place, it's the person.
Yes.
Like, if you don't... It's very easily to manipulate.
Absolutely.
In that place.
I agree, yeah.
And that's what my brother did. He was like, I'm done.
Make their own decisions.
So, he becomes a ward of the state. Okay? At the age of 14. And when he was on his little shenanigans,
when he ran away?
Yeah, when he ran away. Well, yeah, it's escape. He didn't run away.
Yeah.
He stole some cars and set some fires to some dumpsters. And so he's the ward of the state. So he gets released from the quote-unquote school, which is St. Anthony, but just back in the day, it was a school. You didn't go to St. Anthony because you were... in jail. You went there to learn how to be a man.
Well, rehabilitation.
Yeah, be a boy. So when he goes, the judge is like, hey, check it out. I'll let you out. Deal breaker. Leave Idaho.
Get the hell out of here.
Like, get the fuck out. Like, you can't stay here.
You're not learning.
Like, you can go, but you just can't stay here. Like, you gotta go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, bounce.
And so, all of a sudden... some dude in Louisiana is like, son, my son. And he's like, WTF, Dad? Mm-hmm. So he goes.
And that was the dad that went to jail when he was 2.
To prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I listened to that podcast like 500 times, but maybe I didn't listen to it enough to hear what his dad did, because I don't remember. Did you hear what his dad did?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Drugs
I made Gene listen to it too.
Drugs or thievery.
Something like that.
It was an excellent podcast.
Very good.
Yes.
And the fact that she does it by herself is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, so he goes to Louisiana. His dad has a business where he installs chain link fences. And he's like, son, come with me. Work with me. And he commits a bunch of crimes in Louisiana. Mm-hmm. Bunch of robberies.
He likes to rob Pizza Huts?
Well, right now we're just robbing. Okay. Right now we're just being a douche. We haven't stepped over the bounds of craziness yet. Mm-hmm. Like, we kind of have, but we haven't. And so he goes to prison. And I believe his first time going to prison was just for robbery. I want to say. Is that right? Maybe.
Maybe stealing cars because he liked to steal cars.
Maybe. But he escapes the prison that he was at by threatening. Yeah, dude, he fucking threatened a guard. Sorry. He threatened a guard with a knife. He attempted 7 other times. But he got
try again, folks.
Well,
no,
yeah,
I'm
like,
kidding,
I mean...
not that. They'll get you, really. They promise. They'll find you.
Eventually.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is my brother's made it on the run for many, many moons. And, like, it's taken them, like, finally, like, a year into it. They're like, we probably should get him.
Yeah.
And, like, when they want to get him,
yeah,
they usually do. But it's not till they want to.
Maybe
So, I mean, you have a minute. But this guy's already a douchebag. So, we've already established that. So, when he gets out of jail, there's no wonder that he's still a douche. Jail has not worked. And I don't know if it was his first time he went to prison, but one of the times that he went to prison, he got an inmate threw acid on his face.
Oh.
I guess. And he looks like, okay, so this is how old I am, obviously. You remember the Batman with the guy who does Penguin, and he's like super, super creepy?
Yeah.
That's what this dude looks like.
He's pretty ugly. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he is hideous.
Yeah.
This is what he looked like when he died.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he kind of grew into his face, but...
Grew into his face.
It's a shame. Ugly as fucking sin, folks. No, I'm not saying you gotta be cute to be a murderer, but I mean, damn. But anywho.
How long was he in Louisiana?
It doesn't say on this. So that was at the age of 17. So he was still just doing petty ass shit. Okay, he wasn't like super crazy. Anyway, at the age of 19, this douchebag is walking around, and he sees this cute little colt, a cute little baby horse, just a little itty bitty horse, tied to a tree. And he thinks to himself, he's like, you know what would be super, super fucking funny if I go over there and I kill it. And then little Susie and Johnny are going to come out.
For their surprise.
That's not their names. But will come out and be like, oh no.
Have a traumatic experience.
Yeah, like he's going to.
For everybody involved.
Yeah, so he like kills his horse and like strings it up. He's like, Merry fucking Christmas. Which, again, the snow. Insane, this guy. So he tried to, and that was in 1966. Okay, that was a Christmas gift.
So he was a teenager when he did that.
Well, not really. Not really. He's 19.
Yeah.
Just cause.
You're still a dumbass until you're like 24.
Okay. That's what June has to say, folks. I just think you're stupid from birth.
We're allowed to make dumbass decisions when we're 18.
Well, this guy was like rotten from the womb, it seems. Like, not from the womb, I shouldn't say that. But like, his environment made it. I'm not shocked.
But those are dark thoughts for that age.
For that young,
yes,
dude?
Ma'am.
Like,
yes, ma'am. And even the freaking 8-year-old. And how would he even know what rave was?
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
And there was no Facebook.
And he claims that it did happen to him. And I'm not going to say claims. I mean, if it did, it did. But the fact that pedophiles believe and they have that thing. And I mean, hey, if you want to argue pedophile, let's go. But like, they have that thing where they're like, it was done to me, so I'm going to torture you.
Well, that's silly.
You know what I mean? Like, you're a fucking bitch is what you is. Anywho. So he's doing that. So at the age of 20, he marries Angie. They have a child. Couple months later, she's chilling and she's like, you didn't tell me about your past and that, like, you like to rape people, and
She finds out about his past.
she finds out about one of them.
Oh.
Okay, because he had shot a girl and he thought she died and turned out she didn't.
Oh.
So, joke's on you. And so he goes to jail for that, for a smidge. And so she finds out about that, and so she's like, dude, I can't. Because with sexual predators, for some reason, the US of A is just like, oh, it's fine. We'll let you out in a couple of months because you were so good in jail. You've learned your lesson. You won't do it again. Well, here's the truth, folks. This dude does it a million fucking times. Not a million. I won't give him that much credit, but you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. So she pieces out. She's like, fuck you. And so he says that at the age of 22 is when he starts committing rapes.
That's when he claimed. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think so.
And so he remarries Angie and they have another kid together. But then she files for divorce again a few months later. Because
a few months?
Yeah. Because he goes to jail again for the rape of a little girl, I think, is when that was. Mm-hmm. Maybe not. No, because that's when he got to Idaho. That was the girl he met at the bar. So his thing was he liked to rob, like, Pizza Huts, gas stations, not banks or, like, anywhere he would get, like, a shit ton of money. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He was just making, like, ends meet, kind of, really, I would have think. Especially back in those times, I don't see it being like, you're not making thousands off a Pizza Hut.
No.
I don't think. Shit, maybe.
No, probably.
No. For sure. Anyway. So, he goes to prison, right, in Texas. And this is just like, I don't even know why, but this is just how I picture it because I love Hollywood. So when he goes to prison in Texas, he meets this dude, Jimmy Twigs.
Jimmy Twigs?
Jimmy Twigs. And his brother's like...
Wonder why he got that nickname.
Right. And his brother's like, so check it out. The only thing you can't do at my house is like drink beer and you can't be gay. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he gets out and his brother's like, so you can't be gay and you can't drink. Those are the rules.
Yeah, but if somebody's letting you stay there,
solid, right?
You have a bed and warmth and...
But then he's like, well, hey, wait, though. Jimmy's my man.
Oh, he fell in love.
Like, Jimmy holds my pocket.
Yeah.
Like, I protect Jimmy, and he gives me sexual favors in return. Mm-hmm. And when Twigs gets out, he's coming with me. Like, he has to hold my pocket.
Yeah.
Like, it don't stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Love don't stop. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Love's forever, bro. My wife left me. I've gone to jail. Mr. Twigs here.
Has my pocket.
Has my pocket.
Yeah.
And my back.
So when did Jimmy get out?
For serious. It doesn't say. No one gives a fuck about Mr. Twigs, but he just really stops right there. Like, that's his introduction and he leaves. Mm-hmm. So at 40, we've gone gay. Because we've been to... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're still into chicks, obviously, because raping. Women. But, like, we got a girlfriend named Twigs. Mm-hmm. Amen. And Twigs is just like, I hold this dude's pocket. So his brother's like, well, you guys can't hold pockets here. Like,
yeah. Do you somewhere else?
Yeah, my house is a no pocket holding house. Mm-hmm. Like, we just don't play. And so they're like, you know what?
Some people have that.
Yeah. He's like, you know what? Fine.
They're home.
We're going to have to go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We're just going to have to leave. And then he injures his hand. And then really, dude, Mr. Twigs just drops off.
Oh, really?
Like, I don't know what the fuck happened to Twigs. Oh. I don't know.
Maybe he didn't want to take care of him after his hand
After he becomes... Well, his fingers, like, get attached again. But they just, like, they're weak.
Yeah. So
when his brother's like, hey, get the fuck out of here. Mm-hmm. You and your pocket holding ass. Be gone. And he's like, okay, well, I'm just going to go back to Idaho then, and I'm just going to rob and rape and fuck around. Because he's a truck driver.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good thing to point out.
So he was able to travel around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
truck drivers are not rapists.
we will not speak for all of them. We know a handful. Like, I will
Well,
not... I will not Bible that.
They're everywhere, though.
They are. I know a handful of people. I will vouch for the
rapists?
ones I know.
No, I'm kidding.
No, I mean, I know truckers that are good. Like
Yeah.
a handful. I will not speak for the whole trucking nation. I'm sorry, I will not. So, he's able to, like, go distances and whatever. So, he's like, I'm going to go up to Colorado. Denver, Colorado.
Denver's fun. You been there?
No.
Well, road trip.
Well, I don't know. In 1992, was it fun? He was 45.
Denver. Well, I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. It was always. It's pretty big though. It's probably a big city back then too. 92.
Probably right. I don't know. Oh, and he met Twigs in Angola prison, just so everybody knows. That's in Texas.
Oh yeah, Texas.
Yeah. That's where he met Twigs. Twigs. What a bitchin' ass last name, Twigs. Anyway, so he commits some crimes in Denver too. He robs some places and he robs a Pizza Hut. He has a big thing with Pizza Huts.
I noticed that.
He's creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Pizza Hut. Maybe Pizza Hut did him wrong one time.
Didn't his profile say stalkers? So stalkers
Yeah.
have patterns, I'm sure.
Yeah.
'Cause
But like a Pizza Hut?
Well, you might get $250, $300. I don't know. Unless the soccer team comes in after a win.
Right? Who knows? So on Halloween in 1992, he goes to Pocatello, where he goes to his uncle. He goes to his uncle's house. No, his cousin's house. Sorry, his cousin's house. Dave. I won't say his last name. But he shows up and he's like, "Hey, I know you don't remember me, but like, don't you? Do you kind of remember me, right? I'm James. Blah blah blah. Can I stay here until I get my shit together?" And his cousin's like, "Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Stay here if you need to." And while he's there, he gets a job working at Tina's Oxbow restaurant. I've never been there or heard of it. So.
Pocatello?
Somewhere. Pocatello area.
Somewhere.
But in his spare time, he's learned crafts and whatnot. When he's been to prison for his previous crimes, he's learned gifts and trades and painting gifts. So he paints on old hand saws and starts selling them at this restaurant. So he'd go in there from time to time and like check on this shit. So then he, at the age of 45, now we're into November. Okay, he abducts a little girl. We're not even going to say age or anything like that because, like I said, this is not my jam. But he abducts a little girl from a parking lot. This little girl and her family are out eating.
Was it Pizza Hut?
Huh?
Was it Pizza Hut?
Yeah, it was a Pizza Hut. I think so.
Yeah.
And, well, one article says Pizza Hut. Another one did say something else that I just saw. So we'll say Pizza Hut because we're going with it. But, so this little girl is like, "Hey, she's like starting out driving, all that fun stuff. And she's like, let me go get the car." We're not going to say age or anything like that. But, so she goes out and her mom's like, "Well, hey, take your fucking sister and like buckle her up for me. Like, let's make this shit quick. Your brothers are still being fat. So hurry up, get the car. I'll rush these dudes. We'll go." And so it's been a minute and the older brother's like, "Where the fuck did we park? Like, how far away does she have to go?" James had come across her and he abducts her, takes her, rapes her. And if you guys want to, you guys can listen to that graphics detailed
Sister was
podcast. Yeah, the baby was with her. So you can listen to that podcast. Like I said, it's Graphic Details
Graphic Detail.
episode 10. You guys can listen to that because she goes into detail about all of his rapes and his murders, and
Yeah.
especially about like the kids ones. She goes really deep into it. I'm just not about that. So yeah, so he rapes her with her little sister in the car. And then he has her get out of the car and he tries to shoot her, but his fucking handgun jams,
Yeah.
and so he can't.
So he gets frustrated.
Well, he doesn't know what to do because now she knows that he tried to shoot her, and now he has to kill the baby too.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like, well, what am I going to do?
Not really. You could just leave.
You could not be a douchebag and just bounce, but people
Or
choose
not
to
do
do other
it.
things.
Yeah.
But so he told the cops that the main reason that he did it is because he was too worried about having to find the shell casings in the snow of 2 bullets. Like, and he was
Pick it
hoping,
up as evidence.
yeah, and he didn't know if the gun wouldn't jam again.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I'm just gonna have to fucking let him go. And I think he kept him for like a day or something like that. But he did admit to an unsolved murder back in, I think it was Texas, of a girl that he went back and had sex with her body after she was dead. And this is like he admitted to it. There was a case, but he was never charged. So.
Is that the one that the body had already started to decompose?
No, that's the little girl. That's the end one. But yeah, so he told the cops that he went back and had sex with the body or whatever, and the cops are like, well, why? Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't even think we asked. Like, he was a chatty Cathy. He was very big on talking.
Liked attention.
Mm-hmm. And at the end of this, the lawyer had to lie and make up fake paperwork being like, hey dude, if you stop talking and telling all your stories, like, I'll make sure that you get like a killer movie deal, like book deals, like all that shit. Wow. He didn't sign it. He was just like, I need this dude to shut the fuck.
He didn't get in trouble for doing that. The judge
understood. Well, yeah, everybody's like, oh, I understand, dude, this dude's fucking retarded.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so he does that to that poor sweet little girl. And his girlfriend's daughter, okay, she said she's 14, but she had said previously as a younger girl that he had raped her and molested her. But then she took it back. And then later on, she did it again. And then she took it back.
Oh, no.
And then when she was 14, she goes to her mom and she's like, no, dude, I'm serious. Like, he's coming into my room and, like, he's terrorized me my whole life. Because that's what a pedophile is they're like...
A predator.
They're a mental terrorist.
Yeah.
Like, no, the fact that little boys across the world are scared to go to sleep because they know someone's coming in their room infuriates me.
Yeah.
Like, it makes my blood fucking boil. Because no one ever takes
they're not serious.
They're charged.
Takes them serious.
No one takes them seriously. Their charges are not serious.
So maybe she was
like, they do permanent damage.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you should be sentenced to life. That should be a life sentence. If you fuck with a kid in any way, shape, or form, especially if it's in your family,
yeah,
life sentence, no doubt. No doubt. You fucked up that person.
Well, they can't sleep at night in their own
for
home.
the rest of their lives. It's not just, oh, okay, it happened. That person went to jail. It's over. It's done with. It's gone. No. That person lives. They have problems for the rest of their life because you chose to be who you are.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with those children did. You are who you are. You're a monster.
Yeah.
And it's very rare for a monster to change. Like, literally. Look up the stats on that while I read on how many pedophiles actually do not.
Successfully rehabilitated.
Yeah, I want to know. So at 14 years old, they go to the cops because she's like, hey, I know I've lied before, but I'm going to record it. Like, I will record him coming into my room and doing this. Watch.
So he was probably threatening her, and
He
that's why
was.
she kept taking it back.
Yeah, he was. He was threatening to kill her family and, like, kill everybody. So she does record it. But he goes on and turns the radio on. So you can't really hear it. And, like, they take it to the cops and everything. And the cops are like, hey, I'm glad you did this. I'm sorry that this is happening to you. But, like, we don't hear what you want us to hear.
Oh.
We don't. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if there's... And you've lied so many times before. It's kind of hard to...
Believe you now.
Take you serious.
Yeah.
So, like, thanks. We'll note it down. I don't really think anything's happening. Which is just sickening. Any child that ever says anything like that, dude, is just... That should be taken very seriously. Anyway. So he robs a Sizzler steakhouse in Salt Lake City in 93. And he raped a woman after picking her up off the streets in Salt Lake City. Same day he did the robbery. And I think he shot her and she didn't die. I don't think. Like I said, he really... And then...
sucked at trying to kill people.
Yeah, and on his killing spree...
But like, that's all the pain and can you imagine being shot and taking your ass to a hospital, or hopefully somebody stops and helps you?
Dude, one of his cases, I can't find where the lady from the chick from the podcast found this information, like their names or anything, because I would love to say them. I don't know them because they're survivors and their names should be said. But there were these two girls along his little way, dude, that he met at a bar, and he's like, hey, I'm a trucker. I don't want to sleep in my truck. It's the holidays. I'm sad. Let me, like, I don't want to be in my truck all by myself. And he played this whole sad card. And so she's like, they're like, oh, hey, we have a couch. Come on over to our house. Yeah. Go ahead.
Because that's what good people do.
Yeah. Nice, sweet girls.
Well, wasn't he buying them drinks? That's why he had to rob everybody.
Yeah, he was. He was supplying all the drinks, and, like, everybody was having a good time. And they did. They felt bad. They're like, oh, trucker, that's sad. So they do. But he waits for these girls to go to sleep, dude. Which is, like, the creepiest thing in the fucking world to me. The creepiest thing in the world to me is someone sleep, like...
He seems to like that helpless, oh, I have power over you. You know, because the fawn... that he killed, not the fawn, but the baby horse that he killed, and then everybody, sleeping children, you know.
Yeah, street workers. Which is like, I don't know, dude. Like, you're such a sick animal. And, like, I have a hard time, and I'm not going to blame the family, because, like, I have people in my family that do things that it's not my fault that happened. I'm not that person. But, like, I knew the person in my life was a fucking creep. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, I don't know. Like, at 9 years old, dude, he already had fucked up thoughts. So, anyway, he's already... And I don't know why he never was charged with any of these crimes. Like, that podcast really never said... like, why he was never charged with any of the shit that everybody said that he did. Like, he was charged with his robberies, but not the sexual assaults. Like, I think he was charged for, like, rape and stuff.
Well, I'm sure
but it wasn't like
these women were critically injured.
Yeah, and every time he went to prison, he got out on good behavior. Like, he got out early. Yeah. So, I don't really get it. The justice system really is... It's confusing. So, okay. So, now we're going to get to the story of why this makes it a local story. So, and this one's, like, super sad. Oh, it's so horrible. Okay. So, sweet little Jeralee? Jeralee. Is that how you say it? Jeralee Underwood. she was just 10 years old, dude, and she was doing a paper route. She begged her mom, dude, and her mom was like, no, no, no. And she was so fucking sweet that she was like, hey, if you let me do this, I will donate 10% of my earnings to the church.
Yeah.
Like, I will give the church money. Let me do it to give my church money. I want to give to God. And so her mom was like, heartburst.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brother was there with her, and
Brother did, well, he wasn't with her, but he had the same job.
They
So
had
the
the
mom was like, you
paper
know what? Nothing's ever happened to him. She'll probably be okay. She'll stay in this neighborhood. She's not going to go very far until the worst thing happens in the world. So she goes to this house and she knocks on the door, and inside is James and his cousin. And she's like, hey, I need your fucking money to give you paper. Like, if you still want your paper, you got to pay me.
Yeah.
And so they give her a check. And then James goes back, he sits down, and he goes, dude, we have no beer. Like,
I'll go on a beer run.
we're out of beer. Dang it. And so he goes outside and he chases after her. He catches up to her. And he says that the check he has is bad. He needs to give her cash instead of the check. Because he's like, oh shit, we wrote you a bad check. Let me switch you. With this sweet little child. Ugh, when she goes to look into her little coin baggie to do this exchange, he abducts her. Two people fucking see this.
Throws her in the car.
Yeah. Two people see this. One person goes to the same church, and she's like, oh my God, was that the Underwood girl?
That's not
Oh
normal.
no.
Yeah.
So she calls the Underwood home. The line's busy. So she calls another friend, and she's like, hey, go to the Woodses. Tell them what I saw.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
So they do. They report her. And they report her missing. And he tortures her. And it's just the worst thing in the world. Like, she had to sleep next to this man. And I don't even... It's just the saddest thing in the fucking world.
It was...
He takes her for... It's a good drive. It's a good long drive from the back roads that he took from the Pocatello area to Idaho Falls. And she's, like I said, she's only 10 years old. So, and I'm going to play the clip for you guys at the end if we have time. We might have to just put it on Facebook. But her family does like a massive prayer at the church or whatever, and her mom said that like she feels at peace or whatever. And at that time, that poor little sweet girl was already dead. He had pulled over to the side of the road and killed her, raped her, left her there. And then he goes home. He sees all the stuff. Well, he was originally taking her back to Pocatello. On the radio, he heard that they were looking for her and that they saw his van, and I think it was a van or his car or something like that, and they were looking for his car and they were setting up stop places or whatever. So he's like, I can't take her home. I can't. So he pulls off to the side of the road, let her go to the bathroom or whatever. And like I said, he kills her and rapes her. And he goes home, acts like nothing happened, and then he goes back.
To her body?
Yeah.
And that was
Days later.
Ugh.
Days later. And he told the cops that he tried raping her body, but he couldn't because there was too many bugs and ants, so he ended up throwing up. He couldn't complete it, which like was really bad for him. Like he said it was like, it kind of fucked up that dream for him for like a second. Like that thrill was like taken away. Her family to this very day is still missing her right hand and I think her right hip bone. Because he chopped her leg up into 3 pieces and he threw her into the Snake River. He also threw his clothes that he was wearing into the Snake River, which included the thong that he was wearing. That was the first piece of evidence found in the Snake River was his thong. So that's cute.
I have that statistic. Well,
What
it's
is it?
From, here, let me read it first and then I'll cite
Okay.
it. How often do sex offenders reoffend? About 12 to 24% of sex offenders will reoffend. When sex offenders do commit another crime, it is more often not sexual or violent. Maybe that's, hang on. That figure may be low because the sex offenses are not reported, and that's on CSOM, which is Center for Sex Offender Management, but I think I see another one that's more specific. But.
So on July 6th, 1993, my third birthday, okay, sweet little me, is just trying to have a fucking birthday party. I assume. I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm going to lie and say I was. I was 3.
You were having a fantastic birthday.
It was like
clown.
my day.
Yeah.
He finally gets arrested for this.
Good.
Because,
Happy birthday.
well, he does some shady shit. So he goes to his cousin's house and they have like a limo and stuff. And he moves his car and he starts parking his car where it can't be seen. And his cousin catches up on this and he's like, what the fuck? That's weird. And then they all go camping at Deer Creek. Deer Creek? Something like that. Was it that one?
There's 2 of them.
I don't know. It was one of the main ones. I don't know. My mother-in-law goes there. But so they go there and they all get on the topic. They're like, "Hey, did you guys hear about that sicko that took that little girl and killed her and whatnot?" And he just shuts down.
Suspicious.
Yeah, he just shuts down. He's like, "Oh, I don't know.
I want to talk to you.
He tries to act like he has no idea what they're talking about."
Now, isn't this the same guy that you said was the chatty Cathy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep
Just
that.
making
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. And so he's like, "I don't know." He's
So
like,
it's weird when he goes quiet.
yeah, and he's like, "I don't know what you guys are talking about. That's super weird."
Huh.
But so they arrest him on my birthday on July 6, 1993, and he gets sentenced to lethal injection for the Woods' murder. He admitted to the killing of the Louisiana woman, like I said, in 1976. The 6th District Court denied his appeal on July 25th. The Supreme Court denied his appeal for the 3rd time in 1988. They signed his execution. A stay of execution was denied. The Supreme Court in 1999 refused to hear his appeal, and in 2004, he died on death row of a heart attack.
Yeah.
So he is convicted only of 1 killing and believed to have done dozens. He has confessed only to 2 murders and raping only 85 women. And he claims
Only 85?
That's what he says. And he says he's responsible for 185 robberies. Was
he really keeping track?
He claims he was.
Okay.
He wasn't an organized killer. They say he was disorganized. His crimes go from Louisiana, Arizona, Texas to Idaho, and his killing place is Pocatello, Idaho.
For Jeralee.
For Jeralee Underwood's. They say his relatives, but we're not going to go there. That's really all you guys need to know about him. He's sick, twisted, and I love the recommendation. Annie did a really good job.
Thank you, Annie.
Like, she listened to it, I guess, and she's like, I want to hear your thoughts because this dude was so fucking sick and twisted. And
you're absolutely correct.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
Hit it right on the head.
Yeah.
Ta-ting. Dude's fucking psycho. So hopefully we did it justice. I don't know. Let's hope.
Do we have time to listen to that clip?
We can listen to hopefully some of it. We're actually I'll just let that play until we run out of time. And then you guys can look it up and I'll share the link or whatever in the notes. But, yeah, follow us on Facebook at It Is What It Is. Instagram, It Is What It Is, Pod19. Twitter, It Is What It Is, 208. Send us an email at itiswhatitis.pod19@gmail.com. I love listener recommendations. This one was
fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was sick and twisted and sad, but it was fun. So we'll play you that clip, but like I said, it's never ever ever about the killer. It's always about Jeralee Underwood and
Survivors.
his survivors, and just putting it out there that really there's sick fuckers everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a horrible situation. So, yeah. Let us get it ready.
She was always fairly outgoing, and she would always like to include everybody.
Jeralee Underwood was the perfect child. Kind, loving, smart, and hardworking. In fact, she was only 11 when she started her first job delivering newspapers with her older brother.
She got tips quite often. People really liked her.
An intensive search is underway in eastern Idaho at this hour.
It was along that very newspaper route when the unimaginable happened on June 29, 1993.
At least 2 witnesses say they saw a man in his 30s, about 5'7", jump out of the car, grab Jeralee, shoved her back in the car, and took off.
Joyce and I were in the garden. No cell phones back those days. And so they tried to call us on our home phone. Of course, it was outside, so we didn't hear it. A lady on the corner of where she was abducted at actually called another member of our ward, and she came over and says, you know, is someone helping Jeralee?
She saw her get in the car, so she wondered if someone was helping her.
Jeralee had left her home here on Kurtwood Place, the same home her parents still live today. She walked her route and was abducted less than a half a mile away at the corner of Carter and Main Streets. And the abductor was inside this home right here behind me. Her parents called the police, and Jeff, her father, went out to look for her, while her mother Joyce anxiously waited at home.
I remember looking out the window and just waiting for her to come around the corner and say, hey, guess how much tip I got, Mom?
We had no idea where to look or what to do anymore, you know. Yeah, and it got real serious.
The authorities say she was abducted about 5:45 this evening on the west side of Pocatello.
I just feel so bad for the mom and dad.
The afternoon passed and the sun set with no sign of Jeralee.
We're simply treating this as a stranger abduction. We have no reason to believe it's anything else.
The next day, door-to-door searches commenced, and that night a special meeting was held at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints building Jeralee attended every Sunday.
Hundreds gathered tonight in Pocatello to show support for the family of 11-year-old Jeralee Underwood.
Leaders from Underwood's LDS stake asked church members to fast and pray for Jeralee's safety.
Everybody knelt in the stakes and had a prayer.
I had a feeling that after the prayer that she was okay. Of course, to a mother, a child okay, that means she's going to be back to you soon. Of course, later finding out that at that point she had already been killed.
Yeah.
She was okay. She was with Heavenly Father.
While area residents prayed, Pocatello police stopped traffic on
Hour after hour, day after day.
We just want our daughter back.
No new information about where this sweet little 11-year-old could be.
Please bring her back. Or let someone know where she's at. Please.
I'll let her come home.
Then, 7 excruciating days later, a break.
It was Monday before they finally told us they had the man in custody.
So a whole week later. And did you know the details at that point? They just said we have somebody in custody.
Yeah.
That person, 45-year-old James Edward Wood.
This is the man police say kidnapped and killed Jeralee Underwood.
A man who had moved to Pocatello from St. Louis months earlier. He was eating dinner with his cousin when Jeralee came to the door, collecting money for the paper. Minutes later, Wood left the home and approached the child.
But where he was at, they'd written her a check. He told her that the check was no good, and that if she would give him the check, he would give her the money.
Catch.
And while she was looking in her bag to do that, that's when he grabbed her and
Pushed her in the car.
At his press conference this morning, Pocatello Chief Jim Benham talked about notifying the Underwood family.
Probably the saddest thing I've had to do in 26 years of wearing a badge.
The Underwood Codes later learned that Wood drove their daughter to the Preston area through small Idaho towns and then north to Pocatello, ending up in Idaho Falls. During the drive, she asked why he had kidnapped her and spoke about her clogging class and Mormon faith. Wood eventually stopped here at the Snake River north of Idaho Falls. He told detectives that Jeralee needed to use the bathroom. He followed her into the bushes, and that's when he shot her once, maybe twice. He said he couldn't remember. He then cut up her body and threw her remains in the water.
Mortician did everything he could. I mean, they stayed up all night trying to figure out what to do. You know, after they recovered as much as they could recover from her body.
We never did ever
To see her.
That was really hard.
The suspect appeared in court on closed-circuit television from the jail.
Wood was charged with first-degree murder, and the prosecutor sought the death penalty.
Now, there will be a memorial service for Jeralee that's planned for Saturday.
Court hearings began for Wood, and he ultimately was sentenced to death, as Judge Lynn Windmill called him a cold-blooded, pitiless slayer who would murder again.